good morning everybody, and welcome to the Sustainability Forum Who Cares Wins in Sustainable Business. I'm Evelyn Truter and I'm going to be your forum host for the day, and there's no better place to have a Sustainability Forum than where they monitor and research global climate change here at the Met Office.
We are the only house in the land in the world that actually combine advice on weather as well as advice on climate. You can go to National Met Services in all around the world, in the USA or in France, and you'll just find them focusing on the short-term weather. There are also some institutes like the European Centre of Medium-Range Weather Forecasting in Reading that focus on the medium term. There's also climate change centres, again, that just look at the future. We use one model, and our supercomputer here at the Met Office, that does a lot. Our media business, which is within the commercial function, provides the weather forecasts 24/7 for BBC, for ITV, for all those listed channels up there. We were also branching out as of June of last year into online, not just online presenting of weather onto your iPhone in terms of it's going to be bright and sunny, you get a cloud and some sunshine, and you don't really know what it's really telling you, but to get into a deeper communication and tailored and personalised communication to those that have those applications and do presented weather 3 or 4 times a day onto various online and also to iPhone applications. So it's about really making sure that our media and our communication of the weather is very contemporary and relevant to increasing businesses which are on the move and need information when and where they want it, and certainly not on TV, not as much as it was even 5 years ago.
We at Xerox see sustainability being a balance between both ecology and economy. I think in today's world, if you were the most green company on the planet, you probably wouldn't be the most economically successful company on the planet. And by the same token, I believe that if you're just focused on the economy and the economics of the business, then your business will probably start to suffer if you're not making those investments in that balance with the sustainable side as well. So we see that as a balance, and we see that as a thing as we run through today's agenda.
Just in 2008 alone, we picked up a number of awards under the ethical banner. You can see there, named World's Most Ethical Companies list for 2008. One of the most reputable companies. Again, you can read them for yourselves, but again, a full recognition across the board in terms of all of the things we've done across the corporate and social responsibility realm, and in terms of social diversity as well, picking up on the ways in which Xerox operates ethically and sustainability, our environmental aspects. Again, good recognition in terms of what we've done. It's a race with no finish line. It requires leadership that sets high expectations and clear direction, and innovation that constantly pushes the frontier of what is possible. So again, it's a programme that's not just myself and Kevin and Evelyn. This is driven from the top, and it's in the DNA of Xerox.
Within the top 541 multinational companies, you have 2 of the organisations here. Marks & Spencer's number 4, Xerox number 5, along with 3 other names that you probably all know. So that just kind of sets the scene for the people that are speaking today to hopefully make you aware of the kind of environmental policies which indeed you can hopefully take advantage of as well.
The business case. So we launched the whole of Plan A on a bit of a bet. We didn't know there was going to be a compelling business case as we found. We suspected there was one, but we found one now that's make sure it's paying its way. Having got that far, we now look at 2 other things. We look at this supply chain saving that we can make in the future on the green and social. Enormous. Right, that's to go for. And then I look at the products and services I could be selling in 5–10 years' time. And again, there's going to be a huge shift in terms of a low-carbon economy to new products and services M&S could be selling under a trusted banner. Final point there, culture change is more important than technical issues. It's all very well to think about sustainability as about widgets, you know, greener fuel production, greener cars, all that's necessary. But what people fundamentally need is a different mindset. To recognise that there is an issue to be managed, there are benefits from managing it well, and the future is not scary, it's actually going to be better if we do these things.
The whole site car park system is a sustainable urban drainage system, a subsystem. If you notice when you parked in the visitors car park, there's no mortar between the bricks, and all the water, rainwater and surface drainage water on site passes through the bricks. There's a substrate filter, which acts as a filter beneath the bricks to catch any waste engine oil or pollutants from vehicles, and they are biologically broken down. The rest of the rainwater is then collected, and it runs down into a French drain which runs right around the site and down into two ponds, which are named the upper pond, which is this one, and the lower pond, which is the one you walked over when you came over the bridge.
But that's all very well, there's things happening, but is it actually unusual, or is it part of a natural cycle? Well, it turns out it is unusual. This shows a set of reconstructions of Northern Hemisphere temperature over the last 1,000 years and beyond. It so happens there's more data in the Northern Hemisphere than the Southern Hemisphere, but it's a reasonable proxy, a reasonable indicator of global average temperature. Each line is a separate study. These studies are looking at things like tree rings, ice cores, bubbles of air trapped in the ice, which capture the gas, and from that you can work out the temperature. Pollen records showing you what plant species are growing where, and so on. All these things are needed because we didn't have extensive weather stations 1,000 years ago at all. So we need these proxy records to show us what the climate was like. And they all indicate that, again, there were sort of natural cycles in climate, some warming, some cooling, the medieval warm period here, the Little Ice Age here. But in the last 100 years, there's been a sharp upward trend in global temperature, which is unusual in the context of the last 1,000 years. So to summarise then, the world is definitely getting warmer, and it's very likely that it's our fault due to emissions of greenhouse gases from fossil fuel burning and from deforestation. And the top emitters are energy supply, industry, forestry, agriculture and transport. But so far we've been buffered from the full effects of our CO2 emissions by natural carbon sinks, but these may weaken in the future because of climate change or because of our impact on land cover. We expect, as a result of ongoing climate change, to see increasing flooding, droughts, changes in ecosystems if we don't reduce our emissions.
This is where I can sit here as a business person and say we're really pragmatic. So we didn't go to 35,000 product suppliers and say individually measure a carbon footprint for each. It's 10 grand a product. I'm spending 35 million quid on a measurement technique that is best plus or minus 100% accurate. So it's that good use of M&S resources. So what we did, we worked with the Carbon Trust and the consultancy called LEK to do a broad heat map of our business. So we used estimates of the typical cow, so if there's X million cows using the M&S business, multiply through X number of food factories, X number of cotton tonnes used, and estimated it there. Could that 4 million tonnes for the supply chain be 4.8 million tonnes or 3.9 million tonnes? Absolutely. But it gives me a scale order of magnitude to say it's substantially greater than my operational footprint. Now that I've got it, I know that the driving force of that carbon footprint across 35,000 products and thousands of facilities around the world is actually meat and dairy production, refrigeration, cooking in food factories and wash temperatures. So rather than trying to go through 35,000 products, making them all 0.6% more carbon efficient, I can target 4 big areas. 80-20 rule says you crack most of your carbon footprint by cracking those 4 areas. So it's just a pragmatic way of going about it.
We hope that you've had a lot of information now to absorb, and it's really now about reflecting on that and seeing how it can be worked within your own businesses and organisations. And of course, Xerox and also the Met Office are here to support you in your businesses.